Hi, it's Megan Reitz from Ella Rose Hair Boutique. One of the most common questions we get is how long does this last? There's a couple answers to that. So the first thing I like to talk about is how long will the hair last? And the answer is it could be anywhere between 6 and 12 months. It really depends on how you care for it and what your goals are. So this is 100% human hair. So like human hair, it does degrade over time. It's also been through quite a process to get from the human that it was once attached to this beautiful blonde or brunette or red color that you see in front of us today. So it's already been through a process, so you have to be quite gentle with it. It's also not attached to any of your natural oils, so it's very important that you're moisturizing your hair correctly, using the correct products on it. You can't just use what is next to dish soap on your hair and expect it to last well. So if you're doing your part, the hair should last between 6 and 12 months. It also depends on your desires for your length. For example, I have a very fresh set of 18-inch hair, 2 rows in my hair. It is so new that it is thick and full all the way down to the bottom. But in about 3 months, after curling, blow drying, sleeping on it, living with it, brushing it, my ends of the extension hair are going to get thinner and are likely going to look like they need a trim. For me personally, I'm okay cutting some length off and having shorter hair to make it look fuller on the bottom. So I can wear a set of extensions longer because I'm willing to go shorter and take some of those ends off. For some people, they really want to keep max length the entire time they're wearing extensions. And so often what they need to do as their extension hair starts to wear out, especially on the bottom, and starts to thin out, is what we can do as extension artists is take apart their rows. We can look at each individual piece that is in their row, making up, the bulk of their hair. And some of these are going to be kind of worn out. We can take a worn out piece, and then we can add another piece in, keeping it nice and fresh. So some of this extension hair is lasting 6 to 12 months. Other hair is being replaced more often, more like 3 to 6 months. But rarely are you going to get anything longer than a 12-month wear out of this hair. So the second half of the answer to how long do extensions last has to do more with how often do I have to come in to get them moved up on your head. Because as your hair grows, the extensions are going to grow out with your hair. And so as extensions start to grow out with your hair, there's a few things that can happen. One, the longer it goes, the heavier it starts feeling on your hair. And then the attachment points can become a little bit unstable the further you go out. So ideally we tell people between 6 and 8 weeks is when they want to come in and get those extensions removed fully and then reinstalled tight up against their head again. People who have finer, slicker, more slippery hair need to be at the 6-week mark. People who have thicker, fluffier hair can tend to go a little further into the 8-week mark. We tend to not suggest ever going beyond 8 weeks just to make sure that the attachment points stay healthy and stay secure, but you're looking at between 6 and 8 weeks. So I want to show you guys what it looks like to have a grow out on your head, and I am about 4 weeks grown out on my extensions. So in 4 weeks, I'm going to need to get my extensions moved up again. So we're going to show you this so you understand why these need to be taken out and then reinstalled closer to your head. So you can see that there is space between my scalp and where the extension row is. This has been growing out for about 3 to 4 weeks now, and it was started here and now it's here. In 4 more weeks, it's going to be down here. I'm going to have a space about that much between my scalp and the extension hair. It's going to be more likely that my brush is going to catch on it. My attachment points are going to become longer, and there's going to just be more room for air in there. So you need to have this whole entire row cut out, refreshed, and then reinstalled. You can also see how my color, I have a lot of gray in my hair, is also growing out at the same rate. So when you have your extensions that need to be moved up between 6 and 8 weeks, that happens to coincide with when most people need to get their color redone as well, especially those with gray and blondes. Some people can go every other time getting their hair colored, depending on what their natural color looks like, what their goals are. But for the most part, we would do your color on your hair, the removal of the extensions, the refreshing of the color on the extensions, and then the reinstall on the exact same day. So you can expect to come into the salon about every 6 to 8 weeks to get your color redone and your extensions moved up.